Hold
Again,
on,
it's a delay. Okay, I only see you now, so
Okay.
let's go. We're live.
Hi there. My name is Jeff Rack.
Wait, Jeff. Okay, we're live now.
Oh, we're live now. Hi there. My name is Jeff Rack, and I want to welcome all of you to this reading of Power and Light by John Strysik. I'm directing the piece. This is kind of a workshop that we're doing through Theater 40. And I want to have everyone, whether you're watching it live or going to be watching it on YouTube later, we would love to hear your comments and your feedback, what you thought of the piece. And I'm going to turn you over to David Stafford right now, who's going to talk a little bit more about Theater 40 and where that's going.
Good evening and welcome all of you who have tuned in to watch and listen to Power and Light by John Strysik. This is a Theater 40 reading and directed by Jeff Rack and with a company of Theater 40 actors. Theater 40, of course, is closed like every theater in the world. We have been getting in guidelines from the state of California and the public health officials, the county, that sometime this summer we will be approved and given permission to reopen. And so we are at this point in time making plans to reopen the theater. We don't exactly know when that'll be, but it's imminent. Hopefully it'll be perhaps late June or mid-July sometime. We'll announce that to all of our subscribers and all of you who are tuning in tonight to see this. And following the reading, if you're so inspired to do so, we want to encourage you to go to our website, the Theater 40 website, theater40.org, and make a donation to Theater 40. All donations are going to go to the reopening of our theater and will help support us in all our activities, our adult education classes, as well as our productions. So if you're so inspired to make a donation to us, it's very needed always. It's always very appreciated. So we hope you'll do that. And we certainly hope you enjoy the reading tonight. And again, we thank you very much.
So John Strysik, do you have anything you want to say before we get going?
Yeah, hi, John here. No, just like to say, I hope you enjoy the show. It's all based on fact. I mean, obviously there's some dramatizations and some, things taken out of, composites and things like that. But the relationship is really what it is. And it's a bit of American history that people are still kind of fuzzy on. But it literally changed our world in ways that we still, have to deal with today. And it's a terrific cast. We had a rehearsal and I'm very excited that you're watching it and I'm excited to watch it again. Thank you.
All right. Without further ado, let's get going. Melanie, take it away.
Power and Light, a play of Edison and Tesla by John Strysik. Act 1. The creation scene from James Whale's Frankenstein. Dr. Frankenstein and Fritz are frantically starting the weird Teslian electrical machines while the monster lies on a table covered by a sheet. The table is pulled up through an opening in the roof. Electricity crackles, lightning flashes. As the creation scene continues, it is intercut with the inventions of Thomas Edison and Nikola Tesla.
It's alive! It's alive! It's alive! It's alive! It's alive! In the name of God, now I know what it feels like to be God.
Blackout. Scene, a New York street. Tesla is literally just off the boat, finding himself in the hustle and bustle of mid-1880s New York City. We hear the clicking and clanging of a failing electrical pump.
God damn it.
Machine man on his knees trying to fix the electrical pumping machine.
Is pumping machine?
Huh?
I say it's pumping machine.
What the hell kind of accent is that?
Serbia.
Serbia? Serbia now? Shit, this country really is becoming a zoo.
Machine Man turns his attention back to the pumping machine, which keeps failing to turn on.
Damn it.
Is easily repaired.
Really? So you can fix electrical machines? You?
Yes, I've repaired many like that.
Well, you dress like you might know a thing or two. If you can fix it, what's that bit of charity setting me back?
Pardon?
What's it costing me?
Direction to Edison?
What?
Thomas Edison, would you know?
I know there's a lunatic ripping up our streets to lay electricity wires. That who you mean?
Well, mean,
Yeah, in this town you can't go 10 minutes without hearing about that crackpot.
so where is?
First, let me see if you can actually fix this contraption up so it don't kill me. Been shocked by this thing once too often, and I don't want to be shocked again.
Scene, the Vanderbilt mansion.
I am shocked, Mr. Edison, shocked.
What? You're what?
Shocked.
Well, Miss Vanderbilt came quick as it couldn't come any quicker.
You promised your electrical wires were safe.
They are, nothing dangerous about them.
Except to my tapestry.
The rug?
The tapestry, which we had to pull off the wall because your electrical wires set it ablaze.
They get crossed?
What?
Were the wires touching?
They were just as you installed them.
So this burned, huh?
Yes, by your electricity.
Edison drops to his knees and closely examines the tapestry.
That tapestry is irreplaceable. It is 16th century. It is a masterpiece by Van Elst. It is...
Metallic. This rug of yours.
What? Rug?
It's weaved from metallic thread that touched my wires, shorted them, and made your fire.
Oh, it was not my fire, Mr. Edison.
What? Wasn't what?
I said it wasn't my fire, it was your fire.
Now, don't go worrying your pretty little head over a little thing like this.
Mr. Edison.
My boys will make everything right.
And who are you?
I work for Mr. Edison.
Of course you do.
Sir, you got to come quick.
What is it?
The jumbos.
What?
The jumbos.
The jumbos?
Jumbos, yes, sir.
Again? Good Christ, come on.
Mr. Edison!
Scene, a New York street.
Mandan?
Try.
Sure it ain't blowing me to kingdom come?
Switch on.
Be my guest.
Machine Man backs away as Tesla throws a switch, and we hear the electrical purring of the pumping machine.
Well, I will be shocked. I will be shocked.
The Machine Man takes a money clip and pulls off a 20.
Here you go.
No, but the direction to Edison.
Friend, this is a $20 bill.
Not necessary.
You sure ain't from here, are you?
First day, yes. Tell me to kiss Bible, give 20 cents, and now I'm in America.
Then you have your first American lesson.
The Machine Man stuffs the 20 into Tesla's coat pocket.
Don't ever refuse a greenback dollar. Edison's down on Pearl Street. Can't miss him. Just follow the fireworks.
Scene, Edison's Pearl Street station. We hear ear-splitting generator noise, lights flashing like lightning. Edison holds a hand over his face, walks into the chaotic sound and light.
Mr. Edison, no, it's too dangerous. Mr. Edison.
Will you sisters shut up?
Edison yanks on a throttle. The insane light and sound suddenly stops.
Got everything from an elephant's hide to a senator's eyeballs in here. So how about digging out some damn rod to synchronize the generators?
The electrician hands Edison a candlestick telephone.
What?
The Oregon. Said it's urgent.
What the hell is it? Hello? Hello? You have to speak up. I don't hear so well. Yes? Yes? It what? Well, it sounds like a short. A short. Yes. Yes. I'll send someone round as soon as I can. Yes. Yes, yes. Good Christ.
As Edison speaks, Tesla quietly, reverently walks up behind him.
Almost burned down Vanderbilt's mansion and wrecked our generators, and now might sink a goddamn steamship. And boys, please note, that's all before breakfast. Don't think much more can go wrong today, huh?
Edison hands Tesla the telephone without looking at him.
Mr. Edison?
Uh-oh, spoke too soon. So?
Card.
What?
Name card.
Name card.
And this for Mr. Edison.
Tesla pulls an envelope from his coat. The electrician takes it and gives it to Edison.
What's this?
Letter of introduction.
From who?
Mr. Bachelor.
Bachelor? Charlie Bachelor?
Yes.
No work. How about getting that rod installed?
Yes, sir.
See, you know Batch?
Yes, I work with.
Yeah, well, speak up, eh?
I work with.
Closer.
In Paris, I work with Mr. Bachelor.
Paris?
Edison Company in Paris, yes.
Tesla. That ain't a Frenchy name, is it?
No.
Italian? No. Spanish, right?
Serbian.
Serbian?
Yes.
Huh.
Edison opens the envelope.
You read this?
No, was for you, Mr. Edison. You.
I know two great men, and you are one of them. The other is this young man. So, Mr. Paris, what do you want from me?
Well, if I may, to share invention of.
You're an inventor?
Yes, I.
Lord Almighty, attract you fellows like flies, don't I? Well, go on. What do you got?
2 years ago, I have solved problem of motor powered by alternating current.
Have you?
Yes, and is simplicity, Mr. Edison.
It's what?
I say is simplicity.
Simple, is it? Let me tell you something, Mr. Paris. Ain't nothing simple about perfecting this world. Sisyphus had a cakewalk up that goddamn hill.
Tesla pulls out some patent sketches from the satchel.
Can show how motor work. Motive force is rotating magnetic field.
Edison studies the drawings.
See? Yes, you see?
Yeah. Who's the pencil?
Pardon?
Who drew these?
Friend?
Yeah, you should give me the fellow's name. We can always use a good pencil.
Edison hands the drawings back to Tesla.
The problem you solved is no problem at all because a motor powered by alternating current is only impractical.
But Mr. Edison...
Alternating current is like, well, it's like water going back and forth in a pipe. It just gets stuck.
No, but it's nothing like that. It is like like waves on beach.
And AC will kill you quicker than yellow fever. No man gonna let something like that get into his home. No man wants to see his family murdered.
Illuminating gas can also kill, but will be safeguards.
The Batch here says you're a whiz at squaring things. That true?
Squaring?
Repairing, fixing, like generators.
Oh, yes, in Strasbourg I've repaired your...
Well, then let me ask you something, and tell me true, Paris. Tell me, true. You salt your food? Before you eat it, before you put it in your mouth, you sprinkle salt on it? It's a simple enough question.
No, do not eat salt.
You got a busted generator on a steamship. My boys think they got to pull the damn thing out to fix it. Get it running on the boat, you start mucking tomorrow.
Muck?
Just square the damn thing. Well, go.
Scene, Edison's office. Edison sits at his desk looking at some papers. The electrician enters. He has a big piece of apple pie he puts in front of Edison. Edison keeps looking at the papers and wolfs down the pie.
What's the time?
Almost 4 o'clock.
What? Oh, Lord Almighty. Another all-nighter and nothing done. Well, could ditch this goddamn business and go back to steady work like telegraphing. Used to be a first-class man.
Tain't as bad as all that, is it?
Taint, huh? The money sharps on Wall Street have got us by the shorts, and we're feeling every tug.
Can't Mr. Morgan?
J. Pierpont Morgan is an alley cat in heat. Never know where that son of a bitch is going to jump. Ever tell you how I learned Morse code? In a cave, yes, sirree. In a cave outside Jimmy Clancy's house back in 1863. I just turned 16. Was in there 18 hours every day until I could signal in my sleep.
We hear a loud electrical zap and a squeal.
Well, rat paralyzer's working again. Ought to patent that thing.
Edison inhales a mouthful of apple pie, then grabs his stomach.
Why is this goddamn stomach always aching? Come on, let's skedaddle, huh?
Scene, a street. Edison and an electrician walk into the cold morning air. Edison shivers.
This freezing morning air, it's dreadful for my nerves, you know? Well, will you look at here? We're up all night sweating bullets, and here's Paris coming home after a night on the town. Please tell me that goddamn steamship sailed.
It did?
On time?
Of course. Good night. Morning, Mr. Edison.
Still starts at 8 o'clock sharp.
Yes, thank you.
That is a damn good man.
Tesla hears and smiles. Scene, Pearl Street Station. Tesla takes off his coat, rolls up his sleeves, and goes to work. We hear ear-splitting electrical noise.
Nico,
Tesla turns off the generator.
Charles,
you're a sight for sore eyes.
so are you.
So, how you liking this madhouse? How's the old man treating you?
Well, I fear he does not understand my vision.
Is that Batch?
Ow! How goeth the winter of our discontent?
Yeah, no glorious summer yet, you son of a bitch. Perseverant.
Adventure omnia vincit.
Yeah, mark that, Paris. Genius be 1% inspiration and 99%
Perspiration.
goddamn right.
And Al here, he's bloody proof of that. Especially after you had the misfortune of being downwind of the blighter.
Oh, you're a son of a bitch to talk. This limey can stink up a room faster than a kraut farting sauerkraut.
And Al's the only man I know who can convert gas into electricity.
That's a good one, Badge. Mary would have liked that one.
So how is Mary?
Huh?
How is Mary?
My Mary? Not well, Batch. Not well at all. I fear it's my mother's madness all over again.
Bloody hell, Al.
Walk with me.
Tesla turns and almost trips over. Charles Proteus Steinmetz.
Sorry, did not see.
Oh, do not worry, my friend. I am resigned to it. To introduce myself.
Charles Steinmetz, yes. Mr. Edison scientist, you are most famous, sir.
Oh, nein. Here we all but Edison muckers, yeah?
Just so.
Have you a moment, my friend?
Of course.
It is my new motor.
Something is wrong?
Well, I am afraid she has decided to keep dying.
Scene, Edison's home. Edison stands silent, staring at something directly before him. We hear an Edison cylinder playing the song, "When a Peach in Georgia Weds a Rose in Alabama." Edison sways to it, perhaps dances to it, imagining a dance with his deceased wife. The song suddenly stops.
I'm so sorry, Mr. Edison.
Speak up, Doctor.
I said how sorry I am about your wife's passing.
Have you a cause of death?
Well, as we discussed, I believe it to be congestion of the brain. It would account for her terrible headaches and her
Madness. Sometimes she was so out of control, or just screaming and throwing things. Sometimes we had to tie her down to keep her from harming the children. How are they?
The children, they're sleeping. Shall I wake them?
No.
Edison starts walking away.
Mr. Edison,
What?
where are you going, sir?
Huh?
Where are you going?
Work?
At this hour?
Nothing to do here, is there?
Well, no.
Nothing worse than doing nothing. And there's nothing to do here.
Scene, Pearl Street Station.
Yeah, it has been tried and always results in vibration because
Of rapid change in an electrical field. Yes, I know.
no, sir, to use alternating current as motor power is much like trying to eliminate a force of gravity.
9, Charles, 9. Keep gravity, eliminate brush.
Was?
Not trying to convert you to AC, is he, Steinmetz?
Mr. Edison, please, for a moment.
Huh?
Sir, think to eliminate commuter brush from all motor.
Eliminate the brush? Brushes keep the torque from reversing. You, of all people, should know our motors can't run without them.
Bachelor enters, stays in the background listening to Tesla and Edison.
Yes, but without brush, direct current not needed for motor.
So what the hell turns the armature?
By alternating current out of phase.
By what?
It is turned, how would you say, turned by electromagnetic whirlwind, yes?
Magnetic whirlwind?
Electromagnetic, yes. Mr. Edison, I know power of this motor will change world. No more are men slave to mindless labor. With this motor, they are freed. I know this, and I know you. Only great man like you can give this freedom to world.
Tesla, you are crazier than a shithouse rat. You're here to fix my jumbos, not free the goddamn world. Is that understood, is it? You work for Edison General Electric, not the son of a bitch world. Why? Why the hell am I having this goddamn conversation? Why?
Al?
Batch?
Oh, man, are you all right? Steady on.
Batch. Mary. Mary's gone, Batch.
What?
Mary, she died last night.
Oh, I say, my dear fellow.
I was wondering, could you could you make, I guess the arrangements for her.
Of course, but shouldn't you be at home?
Huh?
The children.
I need an undertaker, and I suppose flowers, yes. Yes, flowers. For Mary liked flowers. Roses she likes. White roses. Make a note of that. White roses.
Don't have a worry, old man. I'll take care of it all. Al?
This copper shortage.
What?
Cost of copper wires. Knocking the starch out of us.
Well, don't fret about that now.
Should mine the stuff ourselves. Steinmetz, how's the new motor?
It is progressing, but
But still work needs to be done. Always is. Well, show me what you got. Yeah, come on.
Did he say wife die?
Lunch with me, Nico.
Scene, a restaurant. Tesla and Bachelor sit at a table. Tesla polishes and repolishes the silverware with a napkin, polishing as if his life depended on it. Bachelor is used to Tesla's odd behavior and ignores it.
Nico, you simply must get this fancy of alternating current out of your head.
Tesla stops polishing, sees a cut peach in front of Bachelor.
Could you remove?
What?
Peach.
Peach.
Please remove.
The peach.
Yes.
Why?
Please remove.
All right.
Bachelor puts the peach on the floor. Tesla resumes polishing.
Fancy, Charles.
Fancy?
Alternating current.
Nico, you know Al has based his entire system, generators, wiring, motors, meters. He's based all on direct current. You know this.
But Charles, direct current must have generating station every 2 miles, when AC can be transmitted hundreds of miles. Niagara Falls sending power to New York.
Well, it has the potential.
No, it is the certainty.
'Tis theory, Nico. Could be all bollocks.
Edison is great man, amazing man, but Edison is blinded by simplicity of direct current. It's impossible to...
Impossible? Impossible, you say? Impossible is a thing Al's done his entire life. For 50 years, people tried making a practical electric lamp, but no one could until Al jolly well did. No one thought electrical illumination could be subdivided, but Al did, and he made the bloody thing work.
Yes, with you and help of 100 men.
With our help, yes, but without Al's vision, none of it would have happened. What Al is doing now, the electrical illumination of New York, shall fundamentally change the world. Surely you do agree.
Of course, agree, of course.
I see a lot of Edison in you, Nico. I truly do. Outwardly, you two be as different as chalk and cheese, but you both be touched by invention, and that's a rare thing. But you must be practical like Al. No fancies of magnetic whirlwinds.
He's not fancy, Charles.
And you must admit, there are many dangers to AC. It truly can kill.
I know this, but...
Follow Edison, Nico.
Edison enters. He pushes a small table with his cylinder phonograph.
There is much to be done, improving DC, so put your genius to that. As Al says, discontent is the necessity of progress.
Has many sayings, yes? Any improvement of DC is in vain, but...
But?
Generator output could be increased by half and for lower cost.
Increase my jumbos by half and cheaper?
There you have it. Now you be talking Al's language.
Well, hell, that's a stunt like that would be worth, how about $50,000 worth, huh?
50,000.
Edison cranks up his phonograph.
50,000, Nico. 50,000. I told you, mate. Follow Al.
Bachelor exits. Tesla stands and stares at Edison. Edison puts the needle on the turning cylinder, and we hear the song we heard before. When a peach in Georgia weds a rose in Alabama. Edison bites on the amplifying horn and looks in a trance, completely taken by the recording. When the song ends, Edison turns off the phonograph.
When a peach in Georgia weds a rose in Alabama. Crazy song, I know, but it was one of Mary's favorites. She used to say it was all about us. Must look like a madman listening to my cylinders, but I can hear vibrations through my teeth. It's the same physics as the inner ear. Hell, I've been mostly deaf since I was 14. I've made some great machines, but this one is my baby. It's the one goddamn invention that is all mine. So how are the jumbos coming?
Generating as promised, 50% more.
50%? That's been verified?
Yes, both by Bachelor and Steinmetz.
Well, hip, hip, hurrah. Finally, got some goddamn good news around here. Sure can use more of that. Say, I've been meaning to ask you something.
Edison pulls out some maps of Europe.
Where you say you were born?
Born?
Yeah, remember, don't you?
Of course, Smiljan.
Hey, come closer. Talk into my ear. You should know by now.
Born in village of Smiljan in Croatia.
Smiljan. Well, I can't seem to find it on any map.
A small village between Adriatic and Velvet Mountain. Here.
You were a lad there, and tell me true, Paris. Tell me true. Did you ever eat human flesh? It's perfectly a serious question.
Mr. Edison, father was Orthodox priest and writer of many poems. My uncle, Archbishop of Sarajevo, another colonel in Imperial Army. I assure you, Mr. Edison, my village and family very much part of Western civilization.
Well, it ain't on any map.
Edison scratches his head and looks at his hand.
What the devil is dandruff? What sort of mind excretion? You hear how Graham Bell is busting my phonograph patents?
Mr. Edison.
With his graphophone? Can you believe it? Graphophone for my phonograph. As ass backwards as he is, and people are buying him up like candy. You need work?
No.
So?
Well, bonus.
What?
Bonus.
I heard. What? What bonus?
For improving generator, 50,000.
I don't hear so well.
50,000.
50,000?
Mr. Edison, $50,000 you promised when generator improved.
$50,000?
Yes, bonus you promised.
Oh, I get it. Should have known you wouldn't know a mosquito whopper.
Mosquito, what is this?
A jab, a josh, a joke. Ask your friend Batch. Sure, he's a son of a bitch limey, but even he knows a mosquito whopper. Ever hear the one about the Brit and the Yank on the train?
Mr. Edison.
Listen, it's a peach. Brit and a Yank are on a train, right? Brit's got to relieve himself and drops a deuce right on the floor. Yank can't stand the stink and lights a cigar, whereupon the English gent says, I say, old chappie, don't you know this ain't a smoking compartment? Ain't that a peach? Collect them, got a drawer full of them. You hear any crackers like that one, let me know, huh?
Mr. Edison, I improve your generator in Strasbourg and was promised bonus, which never come. Now here I work night and day on new improvement, and you cannot do same because you promise, Mr. Edison, you promise bonus of 50,000.
Yeah, listen, Paris. Don't you know that a man's worth is what he is, not what he has?
Mr. Edison.
All right, all right. What do you make now? You know, for a week.
$18.
18 a week, huh? Well, you've done some good work, no denying that. How about another sawbuck?
Sawbuck?
Yeah, $10.
10.
$10 more a week. You'll be making 28. Now that's a bonus.
Bachelor enters.
Impossible, Charles.
What's wrong?
To work here. Impossible.
Tesla exits. Edison walks up to Bachelor with the unlit cigar.
You got a light?
Bachelor gives him the cigar he's smoking.
How's the meters coming?
You didn't just sack Nico, did you?
Sack? Hell, I just bumped him up to 28 a week. That goddamn mayor of New York only makes 10.
But
what?
But that bonus you promised.
It was a joke. A joke. Good Christ. You don't expect me to pay one of my muckers a king's ransom just for doing his goddamn job, do you? Huh? What?
Nothing, Al.
So let's get to work.
Yeah.
Scene, a ditch. Tesla has a shovel and rolled up sleeves. He's a ditch digger now, a zombie, the meanest part of a mean gang doing hard, terrible work. The foreman talks to Tesla, who continues digging and getting more and more annoyed by the questions.
So, you really work for Thomas Edison?
Yes, I work for him.
And you knew him?
Yes, I know him.
I mean, you knew him personally?
I designed his generators.
Huh? You were a bigwig then?
Yes, had much responsibility.
Then why the hell are you digging his ditches? I mean, I know times are tough, but...
I work like all must work.
Speaking of, don't you got any work clothes?
These are clothes I work in.
Maybe for Edison. Let's talk later. And don't forget about drinking water. People go crazy in this heat.
Yes. Crazy.
Tesla keeps digging, but sweat is pouring into his eyes. He wipes it away and keeps digging, but is rapidly dehydrating. He stops and leans on the shovel. He has to sit and keeps wiping away the sweat. Edison keeps working on the phonograph and addresses the ditch diggers.
Great ideas originate in the muscles, so get off your asses and put your backs into it. Need them ditches for Edison Electric. Got 15 miles of wire to lay. You gents will be back at your mansion soon enough.
Edison cranks up his phonograph. Dujuka enters. She is a vision of Tesla's mother, dressed in the style of the 1860s.
Oh.
Mother?
Nico, what has happened to you?
Happened to me.
Edison is still there and plays a cylinder record.
Beautiful, ain't she?
Beautiful dreamer, wake unto me. Starlight and dewdrops are waiting for thee.
Juka kneels next to her son and caresses his face.
You were born in thunder and lightning. The old women said it would make you a child of darkness, but I knew you were a child of light.
Almost perfected.
Over the streamlet, vapors are born.
Mother, please, please.
You were always tormented, plagued by visions, by sounds, by lights. When your brother died, you said the air filled with flames, burning your flesh. But I knew this was because of your genius, your gift to mankind.
Waiting to fade at the bright coming morn.
What has happened to you?
The one thing that's all mine.
You are no longer mine.
Stop! Stop!
Tesla falls to the ground, and we hear a raging firestorm. We see a whirlwind of flames on Tesla, crackling, attacking, burning.
Please, stop!
An explosion of brilliant light, and Tesla is alone. And we hear the flapping wings of a pigeon. Tesla stands and smiles as the bird flies above him, holds out his finger and mimes it landing on it.
You came. White as new snow. Like angel.
We hear the pigeon cooing. Tesla mimes petting it and launching it into the air. We hear the bird flying away.
Hey, Tesla. Tesla, you all right? Have a drink. Told you to drink some water. That kind of work ain't for the likes of you.
I work like all must work.
Told a friend about that motor of yours. What do you call it?
Induction motor.
Yeah, that's it. Anyways, he knows some money men looking for something like that, and to run on AC electricity. Ain't that what you've been rattling on about?
Yes.
Well, then let's get you out of that ditch. Now then, my friend, you know about a finder's fee, don't you?
Scene, Edison's office.
What's he calling it?
Tesla Electric.
How original.
Oh, but Mr. Edison, we must say alternating current does have advantages. It is needing less copper for transmission, which alone could cut the cost of the wire by half.
Well, hip, hip, hurrah! 50% less to roast a man? Seen today's Herald? Poor bastard named Feeks is up on a pole cutting away what he thinks is dead wire, gets tangled in it, and gets killed by alternating current. Killed first, cut afterwards, then roasted. Roasted!
Bugger all.
There's your goddamn AC advantages, Steinmetz. That's why I'm burying our wire.
Maybe a bit more dear, but for safety's sake, it'd be spot on.
And besides lighting lamps, what the hell good is AC? Can't power anything. Can't even spin the spindle on a sewing machine.
Well, this is what Tesla's induction motor will.
Oh, don't give me his horse shit about Armitage's spinning inside magnetic whirlwinds. The only whirlwind spinning is inside his skull. But Tesla is small potatoes. It's Westinghouse that really hacks me off.
Westinghouse?
George Westinghouse is a hustler. Fought the train trusts over rights, his air brakes, and won. And now he's got into an electricity business in a big way.
True enough. Got some 60 AC plants running now.
60, that son of a bitch invading our territory, stealing our agents, all of it just to spite me.
Spite you, Mr. Edison?
George wanted me to back an engine he invented. Take a look at that sorry thing and told him to keep making brakes. And now he's all fired up about sticking it to me with these AC plants. And you know how he's moving heaven and earth to bust my lamp patents.
Absolute villainy, Al.
Yeah, I got to keep a weather eye on that duck. Westinghouse is as sharp as a snake, and once he bites, he don't let go.
Scene, Tesla's office.
Were you always an inventor, Mr. Tesla?
I must say I was, Mr. Westinghouse. Inheritance, I think, from mother.
Your mother, you say?
She invented many things for kitchen and garden and always encouraged me, though I was not happy with bug motor.
With what?
Motor powered by 16 June bugs glued to wheel. But this experiment comes to a sad end when friend eats them. It's true.
Well, one of my first inventions was also a rotary motor, but the motive power was not insect.
Wise decision.
But we're not here to talk about my tinkering.
Your railway brake is not tinkering. It is marvelous gift which saves the lives of many hundreds.
And a world powered by alternating current would improve the lives of millions.
Billions.
Billions? There aren't that many people on the planet.
I speak of future, Mr. Westinghouse. Future.
Yes, the future. And nothing speaks of it more elegantly than your induction motor.
Was Budapest.
Budapest?
Yes. In park at sunsets, I hear. Sie ruht und weit, der Tag ist überlebt. You know this, Goethe's Faust.
Well, I'm afraid I do not.
In English would be sun retreats, done in day of toil. Yonder haste, new field of life exploring. Ah, that no wing can lift me from soil, upon its track to follow, soaring. This I hear, and all comes like lightning.
We hear the hypnotic hum of a fine-tuned AC motor.
Phase difference, generating system, motive power. All this I see, this vision of power, like poetry, this energy to create whole new world.
Motor hum is fading away.
Here is my offer. 25,000 in cash, 50,000 in notes, and a royalty of $2.50 for each horsepower per motor. Once the superiority of your system is established, I have no doubt the royalties alone shall make you richer than Crassus.
Richer than when I arrived, yes? During passage was almost mutiny and all was stolen. Had but 4 cents when I landed.
Well, sir, I can definitely guarantee you more than that. But our first concern concerns your former employer.
Edison is of no consequence, is already obsolete.
Yes, but Tom is backed by J.P. Morgan, and old Zeus will do everything in his power to protect his investment. He will attack with all he has, and he has much.
And much he will lose.
One of Tom's many dictums is, an inventor needs enemies. Now that we are his, we must ready ourselves for anything, no matter how outrageous.
No matter what Edison does, world will choose AC.
Well, let us hope that writing is on the wall.
Scene, Edison's office.
Have you read this, Al? From a chap called Southwick about electrical executions.
What?
Dear Mr. Edison, I am a member of New York's newly formed Commission on Humane Executions, tasked with finding a better way of enforcing capital punishment.
Stop.
What?
What do you mean, what? I'm against it, you know that.
Oh, of course, Al, but...
Capital punishment is barbaric. No government should have the right to murder its own citizens.
Maybe so, but capital punishment is law and always will be.
So are goddamn taxes. What's it got to do with me?
Well, he writes, We still enforce executions by hanging, a barbarous form of killing that has not changed since the Middle Ages. And here we are on the cusp of a hopefully enlightened 20th century.
So if you want enlightenment, abolish the damn thing.
Mr. Edison, you are the foremost electrician in the world, and we think your knowledge of electricity could help create a truly humane form of execution, both painless and instantaneous.
What is with this duck? Why the hell did he write me? It's alternating current that kills. Ours can't. We made it safe. Don't he know that?
Don't think he does, Al. And don't think the public does either. Think about it.
Think about what?
I mean, you should think about helping with electrical executions.
Come on, Batch, what the hell?
Take a page from Dr. Guillotine. The condemned man shan't be executed, but rather Westinghoused by Westinghouse alternating current. Just a fancy, Al, but think of what it would do to people's confidence in alternating current, reading newspaper accounts of criminals being Westinghoused.
Westinghoused?
Just a fancy, but do think there's some more sense in it.
Scene, a stable. We hear a Shetland pony neighing and walking. Edison steps forward and talks to a clutch of reporters.
Since we're here to demonstrate that alternating current will quickly dispatch an adult man, we thought a Shetland pony would make a fine substitute. Electrodes soaked in zinc sulfate have been attached to the beast's head and forelegs, which have been wired to a transformer that will deliver 1,000 volts of alternating current. In this way, we'll guarantee a quick execution and maybe some well-done horse steaks. Batch?
Ready, Al.
Close the circuit.
Bachelor closes the night switch. Lights flash, electricity crackles. We hear the pony jumping and screaming.
Still alive? What's the voltage?
600.
Triple it.
Bachelor keeps the circuit closed for 15 seconds. It seems like an eternity. We hear the pony screaming, kicking, jumping, still alive.
Still alive.
Come on, Patch, another 100.
Bachelor closes the switch for 25 seconds. We hear the pony jumping, finally falling.
Bit more doing than we thought, but bear in mind, gents, the beast weighed well over 400 pounds.
Gentlemen, I think this be absolute proof that alternating current kills. So allow me to issue a challenge to Mr. Westinghouse. In the presence of Mr. Edison and myself, let him pass his supposedly safe alternating current over his body, while I shall pass the proven safe direct current of Edison General Electric over mine.
The magnesium flash illuminates a smiling bachelor. Scene, a theater. Tesla addresses the audience.
I thank all for coming, and I'm very impressed so many would attend demonstration of supposedly safe alternating current. Unfortunately, Mr. Thomas Edison has not responded to invitation, perhaps concerned he might be treated as one of his poor animals. Like stage magician, Mr. Edison has misdirected truth of alternating current. I am not great illusionist like Harry Keller, but I am able to make real magic of AC appear.
We hear electricity crackling as the lights dim and Tesla is bathed in shimmering blue light.
1,000 volts of alternating current now passes over my body.
Zito, Tesla's assistant, hands Tesla some light bulbs. When Tesla touches them, they immediately shine with brilliant light.
Power for light is current passing over me. Same current Thomas Edison think fit only for execution. True danger of alternating current, gentlemen, is the darkness of ignorance.
A flash, then blackout. Lights back up. Tesla gives the light bulbs to Zito. Mark Twain walks up to Tesla with a newspaper tucked under his arm.
Dr. Tesla.
Mr. Twain. Great honor meeting you, sir. Great honor.
It's Sam, it's Sam. Save the sir for degenerate nobility.
Yes, Sam. I had pleasure reading all your great work. Was very ill as child, given for dead with cholera, but your stories saved me. Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. Read many times. It give me new life.
Well, now that is a mountain of a compliment.
Is true.
Did you know that upon publication, Huck was immediately banned in Massachusetts? The Blue Noses there called it tawdry, ignorant, and coarse. And many other of our United States wholeheartedly agreed.
His work of genius. Genius.
Well, it is a work of love at any rate. As to genius, well, I think that more aptly applies to your work.
Most kind.
Do you have a moment?
Of course.
I am curious about this, what are they branding it? Current war of currents, this conflagration between you and Thomas Edison.
You and he are friend, yes?
Well, as much as anyone can be. Did you know I was hired to ghost Tom's autobiography?
No?
But the curmudgeon didn't want to put his name on the damn thing.
This is Edison, yes?
Yes, well, so what of this war?
If there is war is already won.
Yeah, don't be too sanguine about Alva Edison. The man's a natural-born brawler and won't be throwing the towel down anytime soon.
Yes, I know his business dealing much too well.
Twain pulls the newspaper out from under his arm.
By the by, have you seen this? Electrical executions are to become law in January.
Is barbarous. Electricity is gift to mankind, power to improve, not to kill. I do not understand how one man can condemn another to die.
When God created this human race of ours, he had a grand opportunity to make his reputation, but instead, he made this grotesque folly, this terrible lark. I've always thought it a damn pity that Noah and his party made that ship. Well, I must be off, but a word of warning, Dr. Tesla.
As you are Sam, I am Nico.
Nico, be mindful that Edison is going to take every opportunity to remind the world that your alternating current is a true killer.
Is nonsense.
True, but nonsense can be quite a powerful thing. And here I know whereof I speak. I've been making a handsome living off it for years.
Scene, a hearing room. Edison takes a seat.
Can you speak up, Mr. Cochran? Got some hearing trouble.
Of course, Mr. Edison. I was just saying this hearing is to determine whether executing William Kemmler by electricity violates the Eighth Amendment against cruel and unusual punishment.
Yes, I know why we're here.
Now, Dr. Frederick Peterson, the neurologist who has assisted you in your killings.
Killings, you say?
By that, I mean your electrical executions of dogs and calves and I believe even a horse.
Done only to demonstrate the dangers of alternating current.
Yes, well, Dr. Peterson has testified that a dog, supposedly killed by electricity, had its heart still beating for 36 minutes after receiving the current.
What sort of hound was it?
He also testified that he could not exactly say how electricity kills.
Well, I imagine paralysis, but then there's an awful lot doctors don't know.
Let us move on. Are you familiar with Harold Brown?
I am.
Does he work for you or rather for Edison General Electric?
I don't think he does, no.
You don't think he does?
As far as I know, no, he doesn't.
How did you meet Mr. Brown?
I came by the laboratory and wanted to use our equipment.
And you let him?
I did.
Are you in the habit of letting just anyone use your equipment?
Not just anyone, but Brown seemed to be a nice enough fellow.
Have you seen Mr. Brown's plan for electrical executions?
His plan?
His illustration, his concept for the execution of William Kemmler?
A large illustration on an easel is brought out. It shows a hooded man in a kind of wooden recliner with his feet raised and attached to a railing. Both ankles are wired, as is his head. The wires are clearly attached to a generator.
Here it is, Mr. Edison. Can you see it all right?
Nothing wrong with my eyes, Mr. Cochran, just my ears.
Would you say, sir, that this is an accurate depiction of a hypothetical electrical execution?
Well, the circuit looks sound enough.
How is the electricity made?
How's it made, you ask?
Yes, how is it generated?
That's it. You have it.
Pardon?
You have it.
Sir?
Electricity is generated by a generator. Schoolboys know that.
Is there a generator in Mr. Brown's illustration?
Damn well better be, or the only thing happening to that fellow is a good nap.
Do you see a generator in this illustration?
Haven't you been listening? It's right there.
And do you see a label on that generator?
Label?
The manufacturer's name. Do you see it?
Well, it's hard to make out.
It's small, but it is a detail that Mr. Brown, the nice enough fellow who sometimes assists you, deemed important.
I think it reads Westinghouse Electric, Pittsburgh.
And why do you think Mr. Brown included that detail?
Well, I don't know. Why don't you ask Mr. Brown? The nice fellow is sitting right over there.
Are you not in a patent fight with Mr. Westinghouse?
Mr. Cochran, I am engaged in patent fights with just about every adult man, and his mother, and his grandmother, and her cat and canary.
Is there not animosity between you and Mr. Westinghouse?
Not at all. I think George is a fine fellow.
But Westinghouse Electric's current is different from Edison General Electric, yes?
Should damn well say so. Westinghouse alternating current can kill a man.
But you have not killed any man with alternating current, have you?
No, I haven't pulled out any rotted teeth, but I know it can be done.
Mr. Edison, concerning capital punishment, did you not write, it is childish, unworthy of a developed intelligence? Are these not your words?
They are.
Well, sir, why the change of mind?
No change.
But are you now not testifying in favor of capital punishment?
I'm testifying on a way to humanely conduct a thing that I absolutely abhor.
And to also show the dangers of your competitor's current. Is that not so?
Your words, Mr. Cochran, not mine. A scientist just presents the facts, and the undeniable fact is that unlike direct current, alternating current can kill.
Can you tell us what you believe would exactly happen to a man executed by this current?
Well, I believe that after a few seconds, all fluid in his body would evaporate.
Evaporate?
Yes, in a kind of mummification.
You mean as in ancient Egypt, Mr. Kemmler would become a mummy?
Mr. Kemmler would, or anyone else executed by alternating current.
Electrical mummification. Now that's a new one on me, Mr. Edison.
Well, guess even lawyers don't know everything. Any more questions, Mr. Cochran? This is becoming a bit of a redundant, don't you think?
One final question.
Good. Got work to do.
Could a non-electrician operate this execution machinery without harm to himself?
Oh, absolutely. Why, give me 5 minutes and I can even have someone like you doing it.
Of course, this is only your belief. Since you have testified, you have not killed any man with electricity.
It's a belief, Mr. Cochran, formed after much study and 10,000 electrical experiments. Without the slightest doubt, I believe that just a few seconds of alternating current will cause instant, painless death.
Scene, prison death chamber. Behind a screen, we see a huge silhouette of the first electric chair. A man named William Kemmler is strapped into the chair. The company are reporters and witnesses to the execution. The warden stands in front of the silhouette.
Gentlemen, I have just read William Kemmler this warrant dated August 6, 1890, authorizing this execution by electricity. William, have you anything to say?
Only that I wish everybody good luck in this world. I believe I'm going to a good place.
This won't hurt you, Bill. It won't hurt at all.
I know you want to make a good job of this.
Goodbye, William.
Goodbye.
The warden walks over to a closed door, raps twice. We hear the thunk of an electrical switch on the other side, and alternating current is sent to the chair. Lights dim, electricity crackles.
That will do, that will do. He is dead.
The current is switched off.
Gentlemen, just as Thomas Edison promised, it was a quick, painless execution. May God Almighty have mercy on his soul. Good God, he's alive. What?
He's still breathing.
Turn on the current. He's not dead.
We hear the thunk again and higher voltage as the lights dim and strobe.
Keep it on until he is killed.
We hear sizzling. We see convulsing in the chair.
Warden, his head is on fire.
Dear God!
Keep it on.
The electricity crackles louder. Lights flashing. Well, this goes on for an eternity of 2 minutes.
Warden, he must be dead. He must.
Cut the current. Cut it off. Off.
We hear an electrical explosion. We see a blinding white flash. Blackout. Scene, Tesla's lab. Westinghouse is reading a newspaper.
Westinghoused, they say. They say this hatchet killer was Westinghoused. The scene of Kemmler's execution was too horrible to picture. The room was filled with the odor of burning flesh, and strong men fainted and fell like logs upon the floor. Great God, they could have done a better job with the axe he used on his wife.
Like horror from Dante.
At first, Edison's ridiculous crusade worked to our advantage. It afforded us an enormous amount of advertising. But this electricide business couldn't come at a worse time.
I thought sales expanding.
Sales are expanding, but so are expenses. Trying to put this country on an AC standard has severely strained us. My financial people think the only way to save the company is through consolidation.
But gold would still be implementation of my polyphase system.
No, absolutely. But that's another problem. Your horsepower royalties, no banker will underwrite us with those in place. It pains me greatly to even broach this, but I sincerely believe you deserve that money. But I fear the future of Westinghouse Electric may be in your hands.
Tesla pulls out his contract,
Here are royalties.
tears up the papers, and drops them.
Here are my hands.
I hope that you know what you have done, Nico. You may have just shredded millions.
I know you are only man to give world my invention.
I promise I will try. But our next problem is Edison's death chair. We need to take the public's mind off Tom's lies. If not, the future of universal AC looks rather dark.
Dark is simply absence of light. And what is light? Light is truth.
Blackout. Spotlight up on a visibly shaken Thomas Edison.
Without the slightest doubt, I believe that
I'm going to be on here in a second.
a few seconds. Alternating current passing through a body will instantly cause painless.
Blackout. End of Act 1.
All right, everyone. So for the sake of our actors, we're going to take a brief 5-minute break, and then we're going to come back and we'll continue with Act 2. So thank you for staying with us, and we'll see you in 5 minutes. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
I'm here.
Okay, I think, is everybody back? I
Yes.
believe so. Let's continue now with Act 2.
Act 2. Scene, Vanderbilt Mansion. We hear classical salon music. Mrs. Vanderbilt is dressed in a golden silk gown augmented with silver filaments made to look like electrical sparks. Her head is crowned with flame-like yellow feathers, and she holds a bright electric torch. She looks like a parody of the Statue of Liberty as she glows in the bright light and addresses a gathering of New York's rich and famous.
Welcome, everyone, to the first annual Electric Light Ball, but most especially a heartfelt greeting to Dr. Nikola Tesla, recently returned from his triumph supplying power and light to the world's Columbian Exposition in Chicago. And because of that feat, Dr. Tesla and Westinghouse Electric have been awarded the contract to transform the waters of Niagara Falls into electricity that will light the boroughs of our New York. Dr. Tesla, would you care to say a few words?
Thank you, Mrs. Vanderbilt. I will only say harnessing of Niagara has been dream since childhood, when I imagine great water wheel making power for mankind. Now, Westinghouse Electric shall make that childhood dream a reality, a dream, I am sure, leading to glorious future. Thank you.
Let us all help Dr. Tesla light the way to that oh so glorious future.
Applause. Mrs. Vanderbilt models her bizarre dress to Tesla.
How does it strike you, Dr. Tesla? I call it spirit of electricity.
It's very illuminating.
Very good.
She takes him by the arm, but Tesla pulls away as they walk.
So, you must tell me, was the White City terribly impressive? We've yet to see it. Amazing such a wonder could be built in a backwater like Chicago, don't you think?
Chicago has pleasures. Some interesting hotel.
Oh, dear. I was hoping he would come, but I fear I do not see him.
Who is this?
A Hindu gentleman I wanted you to meet. He is called Vivekananda.
I know of him. Famous Swami, yes?
Yes.
He spoke at World's Fair. If here, he might address you as Lakshmi.
Lakshmi?
Hindu goddess of light.
Ah, aren't you fascinated with his religion?
I am with Vedantic teaching of energy.
Oh?
Is called prana, creative force calling all into existence.
Like our Genesis.
Is where energy and matter, prana and akasha, become one. It is you, it is I, it is all. For they say all is prana and akasha.
Oh, how enchanting.
Perhaps Vedas teach what electricity really is.
Mrs. Vanderbilt tries to take Tesla's arm again, but again he draws away as they walk.
You must tell me more about the fair. Did you ride Mr. Ferris's wheel? Taste, what are they calling it? Cream of wheat? Such a thing. And what of this dancer, this little Egypt, and her, what is the name of her scandalous dance?
Hoochie coochie. And do not forget science's newest triumph.
Which is?
Zipper.
Oh, yes, the zipper. Did you know, dear friends of mine, dabblers in the occult, are convinced that you are not of this earth?
Oh? From where do I hail?
They say you fell from Venus, the goddess of beauty, desire, love.
We hear Chopin's Melancholy second waltz from Opus 63.
Chopin?
Pardon?
Do you not hear? Chopin Waltz from Opus 63.
Oh, yes, it's coming from the music room.
Where is it?
Just down the hall.
Will you excuse?
Of course. I should attend to my guests.
We hear Chopin's waltz getting louder. Scene, a music room. Anne Morgan plays the waltz. Tesla stands in the background, impressed. When Anne finishes, he applauds, startling her.
Oh, I thought I was alone.
You play Chopin with great finesse, Miss Morgan.
Thank you. We have not met, but I am a great admirer of yours, Dr. Tesla. Is something amiss?
Greatly admire woman of wealth, not polluting body with pearl or earring.
Really?
I meant it as compliment.
It is a strange compliment, but I do think great wealth should be considered a trust, something to be used for the betterment of all.
I think there is much to admire in you, Miss Morgan.
Please, call me Anne. Father is very excited about your Niagara project. He is sure your system shall prevail.
And has heavily invested in it.
Well, Father does seem to invest in almost everything. In fact, he is still invested in Edison's system.
Of course, to Morganize everything, yes? Forgive.
No need. I have heard far worse said of John Piermont. Much of it decidedly deserved. Father said your electricity will first travel over 20 miles by wire from Niagara to Buffalo. Is such a thing possible?
I hope Mr. Morgan will know transmission by wire is only first step.
First step?
I ask, has nature need of wire? Are power lines needed on lightning?
Of course not.
Come to laboratory sometime, Miss Morgan, and see how nature shall power new world.
Would a viewing now be convenient?
No.
I never hesitate seeking out new illuminations.
Scene, Tesla's lab. Light is held by Tesla, a glowing wireless globe bright enough to illuminate the entire lab.
Gracious, but how is it done?
We whirl through space with inconceivable speed. All is moving, all is spinning, everywhere is energy. Prana, as Hindus say. But is this energy static or is it kinetic? If static, all hope is lost. But if kinetic, and this I know it to be, then it is mere question of attaching to great wheelwork of creation for power unlimited, eternal, free. We stand at edge of world undreamed, Miss Morgan. Ours for taking.
Anne is overcome by Tesla's vision, gives Tesla a long, lingering kiss. Tesla's reaction is no reaction.
Oh, I am so sorry, Dr. Tesla. That was so disrespectful. I assure you that was not like me.
He offers her the glowing globe, but she hesitates to take it.
Are you sure? Perfectly safe.
Anne takes it, amazed.
You are holding future. Please do not drop.
I shall unequivocally endeavor not to.
It lights way forward.
Scene, Edison's lab. Edison is looking at a picture of Tesla's remote-controlled boat.
What am I looking at? A toy boat?
It is no toy. It is called a teleautomaton, I think, a thinking machine.
A what?
A thinking machine. Called it an invention to end war.
Well, I call it the start of hogwash. That's Paris for you.
Paris?
Mr. Edison's appellation for Tesla.
I tell you, think he came from Bohunk Town that practiced cannibalism, and I ain't joshing.
I saw him demonstrate this boat at Madison Square Garden. He used a wireless signal to increase and decrease the speed, all while people were calling out, telling him where to steer it. It was quite impressive.
Well, how did he control it?
With a telegraph key.
Telegraph key? Say, did I ever tell you how I learned to signal? Yeah, in a cave. Yes, sirree, in a cave outside Jimmy Clancy's house back in 63. Yeah, 1863. Just turned 16. Was in there 18 hours every day until I could signal in my sleep.
So, do you think that we should not pursue these wireless weapons even after Tesla's demonstration?
Ugh. Jesus, you got any gum?
Sorry, don't.
You?
Uh,
Help settle this damn stomach. He's using or trying to use etheric force, something I discovered back in 1875, perfecting the acoustic telegraph. Of course, Paris don't know what he's doing with it. He's way out of his depth. Hear how Paris almost brought down this building? Attached some kind of a steam-powered oscillator to a steel grid and generated a resonance that could have destroyed half of Houston Street if the police hadn't stopped him. Of course, I don't believe a word of it. Look, I tell you, if you want something practical, you should talk to this young fellow I just met, chief engineer at my electrical works in Detroit. His name's Board.
Ford.
Huh?
He's called Ford.
Yeah, Ford. Harold Ford.
Henry.
What?
Henry Ford.
Oh, yeah. I got plans for an automobile. And when he showed him to me, I said, young fellow, that's the thing. You have it.
An automobile?
The finest thing I've ever seen from one of my muckers.
But sir, we're just looking for a naval weapon.
I'm sure you could apply it somehow. Got to be better than Tesla's toy boat. You a family man?
I have a daughter.
Perfect. Gonna love this.
Edison walks to a table and picks up a 2-foot doll in a blue dress and straw hat, gives it to naval officer.
Crank her.
Do what?
Crank her. Comes out the back, or crank. Go ahead. She don't bite much. Crank her.
Naval officer finds the crank and turns it. A tinny woman's voice is heard coming from the doll's chest.
There was a little girl and she had a little curl.
Oh, come on, keep cranking. It's a peach.
Right in the middle of her forehead. And when she was good, she was very, very good. But when she was bad, she was horrid.
She was horrid. Ain't that a peach? The Edison phonographic doll. Making 500 a day.
Edison takes the doll and puts her chest to his ear. He cranks her.
But when she was bad, she was horrid.
He was horrid. You sure you ain't got any gum?
Sorry, Al.
Gotta invent something for this damn stomach.
Scene, Tesla's lab. Twain stands on a small platform with a metal railing.
Are you sure?
If it can help this damnable stomach,
The effect can be quite
it'd stop mollycoddling and just switch it on.
your wish, my command.
We hear a low electronic hum as the platform rumbles.
That's it. Rough as a baby's behind. More.
You are certain?
Crank her up.
The hum and rumbling is louder.
More.
You are cautioned.
The hum is louder. The rapid back and forth movement is making Twain ill, and he burps and clutches his stomach.
Enough, Sam? Sam?
Enough.
Tesla stops the machine and helps Twain off the platform. Twain is holding his stomach and lets out a loud fart.
Sorry about stepping on that duck.
Need to use...
No, I think it's passing. I hope it's passing for the sake of my damn white suit.
Oscillation has interesting effect on bowels, yes?
Yes, most interesting.
Whiskey.
Nico, how in Hades do you come up with such a contraption?
You know Colorado.
Surely do. Been there many times.
Yes? How is country?
Well, it's fine country for mule deer and mountain goats. Don't think a dandy like yourself would much cotton to it.
But there's also magnificent daily discharge of great violence, yes?
Like the one I almost had.
Pardon?
You're talking about their lightning storms.
Like great trees of electricity, yes?
That they are. Thor's hammer couldn't hammer out any better.
I've been invited to locate laboratory at Colorado Springs.
Oh, I know the place well. Right in the shadow of Pike's Peak.
Colonel Astor has invested 30,000.
John Jacob, eh? Nico, I truly marvel, I truly do, at the number of robber barons you have rattling in your pockets like so many pennies.
They are men looking to future.
They are men looking to future profits, more like.
Colorado will make fertile ground, I think, for something very new.
That seems to be your middle name.
Scene, Edison's Mountain, New Jersey.
What I'm doing now is something so new that folks will never again associate my name with the electricity business. What's happening here just may be the biggest story since the resurrection.
And what would that be, Mr. Edison?
Well, now first, I'm gonna blow up this mountain behind us, rip out her boulders, and crush them down to the size of a newspaper man's head. Just about the size of yours, Sonny. Then I'll pull out the ore in them with electromagnets using a new system that's never been done and is completely perfected.
But aren't you actually here to mine gold?
Mold?
Gold!
Gold?
Rumor is you're really here because you found a new way to mine it. Is that true?
What the hell kind of a question? Listen, leave gold buggery to the sharps on Wall Street. I'm here to build up the nation with a cheap, practical supply of grade A steel.
But surely you wouldn't pass up a new supply of gold.
All gold is good for is accumulating wealth, and I have no interest in that.
Well, what does interest you, Mr. Edison?
What interests me and always has is getting ahead of the other fellow.
Why?
Why?
Bachelor enters. He carries a miner's helmet and a wooden dynamite plunger. Edison puts on the miner's helmet.
Why? For the fun of it.
Takes the dynamite plunger and plunges it. And we hear a side of a mountain exploding. Scene, a Colorado plain. It's dark and Zito carries a large unlit electric bulb.
How beautiful the stars shine tonight, Doctor.
Skies painted with unnumbered sparks. All are fire, and everyone doth shine.
Shakespeare, yes?
Play?
Caesar?
Just so.
That is Pike's Peak, right?
Yes. Look how Milky Way shines above it.
Like a lightning bolt frozen in the sky.
Yes, like flaming sword. Energy of universe falling into being. A holy sight, Mr. Zito.
Stunning. Must be this mountain air. It makes it so extraordinary. It's so pure.
Pure and thin. Perfect for conducting electricity. See there?
Where?
There. Venus, Mars.
I've never seen them shine so bright.
Love and war. But that will soon change, yes? God of war is forgotten. We will leave Martians to live in peace.
Leaving only Venus and love?
Some say I fell from her. Time?
Almost 10. You truly think it'll work?
Has already.
It has. Where?
Here, where I have always tested my inventions.
But sending current wirelessly 26 miles away?
It's time.
Tesla sets the bulb on the ground. It immediately lights up.
It works. It really works.
It must, for all is frequency and vibration, Mr. Keitel. All is flaming sword.
Scene, Henry Ford's office. He sits at his desk intently reading a newspaper, then flips a switch on an office intercom.
Mr. Liebold,
Yeah, Mr. Ford?
I've just read where Mr. Edison's ore milling company is closing down, and he might have to file for bankruptcy. Do you know anything about this?
I do.
Know how much he lost?
At least 2 million.
His own money?
Yeah.
Ah, I was thinking we might invest in his electric car.
Excuse me?
Well, we've been talking about having an electric starter for Ford cars. Going to need a reliable battery.
Yeah, but is not Edison's electric car in competition with...
If it wasn't for Mr. Edison, I would never have made my Model A.
I understand that, sir, but...
I'm not having a great American like Thomas Edison go hat in hand to a bunch of Wall Street kikes for money. Let's get Mr. Edison the funds he needs, pronto.
Yeah, sir.
Certainly got enough to shield him from the likes of J.P. Morgan and his Jews.
Scene, J.P. Morgan's office. He sits at the desk, and Morgan puts a copy of Century Illustrated magazine in front of her father, who starts reading it.
It is a work of great vision, Father. Dr. Tesla imagines mankind harnessing the power of the sun, broadcasting music and voice, controlling the weather, manufacturing thinking machines.
Thinking machines?
I know how it sounds. From anyone else, it would be sheer lunacy, but I've grown to know him, and he is unlike anyone I have ever met.
You are fond of him?
It is more than fondness. It is knowing you are in the presence of a genius. Please listen to him, Father. Consider what he has to say.
Send him in.
Morgan, thank you for seeing me.
I hope you do not mind my daughter being present. She is a dedicated admirer of yours.
Miss Morgan?
Doctor?
She has set me to studying you.
My article on increasing human energy.
Well, you posit much more than that. Harnessing the sun, weather control, thinking machines. Now, my question is, are any of these notions even remotely possible?
Not any. All.
Not even a bit of hyperbole, such as receiving wireless signals from the planet Mars.
In Colorado Springs, I receive rhythmic intelligence signal with no station near.
But Mars?
For 20 years, we have seen structure on Mars that cannot be natural.
That is true, the canals.
Canals and growth of vegetation, they water. Beings on that or other planet could be 100,000 million of years in advance of Earth.
Weren't you fired by Thomas Edison?
I had a disagreement with Mr. Edison.
His obsession with the direct current.
Was one, yes.
Yet he is our greatest inventor. If any of these notions are possible, why isn't Edison developing them? Surely anyone could make a fortune. Why wouldn't this tempt him?
Perhaps because now he's tempted by houses of concrete.
He is, isn't he? Tom and his balmy notions. I am glad you had the forethought to illustrate your ideas, but I must ask.
He holds up the magazine to a big picture of Tesla in his Colorado lab, calmly sitting beneath the magnifying transmitter as deadly electrical streamers fly around him.
What in Hades is this? Electricity bursting about you like a hurricane of lightning.
Magnifying transmitter, precisely why I'm here. As a result of experiment in Colorado, I can now build first world wireless.
Yes, Anne mentioned this, but how might a world wireless profit an investor?
All wavelength will be controlled, as well as...
Stop! All wavelength? By this you mean a wireless communications trust?
Yes, monopoly of all telegraph, telephone exchange.
Go on, continue.
Banker in New York can now dictate to London. Inexpensive instrument, no bigger than a wallet. Lets any music or voice be heard worldwide. In same way, any picture or printing can be seen. Million of such instrument can be operated from world wireless tower. We shall build.
What would be the cost?
100,000 for transatlantic plant, 250 for trans-Pacific.
How long to construct?
Each one 1 year.
Well, I will invest 150,000 in a transatlantic plant. As to trans-Pacific, well, we shall see.
Wonderful, Mr. Morgan, wonderful. This is grand. I will say noble investment.
And as security, I will require 51% of your radio patents.
51%?
Yes or no? And please, I have no interest in negotiating.
Nor I. 51%, agreed.
Let us shake on it.
Morgan holds out his hand, but Tesla doesn't take it.
Father, he
Yes. I'll have the contract drawn up. Now, if you will excuse me.
Of course.
Morgan exits.
your location for your tower?
Scene, Shoreham, Long Island. We hear sounds of Long Island Sound, boats, birds, horns, etc.
There will be a new industry and a new city here with homes and schools and thousands of workers.
What shall you call it?
Call it?
This new city, it must have a name.
Well, the general area is called Shoreham.
Shoreham. What about Wardenclyffe?
Wardenclyffe?
For these beautiful cliffs over the sound, and because...
Well, James Warden sold us the property.
Exactly.
Yes, Wardenclyffe. For a tower to charge earth and light heaven.
Oh, yeah. Are you all right, Miss Morgan?
All this excitement, it's just a bit overwrought.
Need to sit, I think.
Yes.
Scene, Edison's lab. Edison pushes a big chair that looks like it's made from slabs of concrete, walks around it, greatly admiring it.
Al?
Batch. I think it's perfected. 3 parts sand, 3 parts aggregate, and 1 part cement.
Someone to see you, Al.
Edison sits in the concrete chair, tries
Well, maybe not totally perfected.
Henry Ford is here, Al.
Huh?
Mr. Edison, such an honor to see you again, sir.
You remember Mr. Ford, don't you, Al? Loudly, in his right ear.
Mr. Edison, we met in 1896 when I was chief engineer at your Detroit plant. Back then, you told me to go ahead and make my car. Well, I did just that, and I got you to thank for it.
You see this? This chair here?
Yes?
All concrete. Gonna pour whole houses and all the furnishings in them from fireproof, insect-proof concrete. Cheap, solid homes put up in a day that it'll pull every man out of the slums worth pulling.
Wonderful notion, Mr. Edison. But I'm here about your electric-powered car.
Oh, not worried about a little competition, are you, Ford? Battery electric automobiles are the future, not grinding gears, no dangerous gasoline, no noise.
And I'm here to invest in yours.
I don't hear so well. You say invest?
Thought maybe. 150,000?
150.
I mean to start.
Give it to Batch.
Mr. Edison, you are the greatest inventive genius who ever lived, and I'm sure anything you put your mind to is going to succeed. Your ore company would have changed mining if it weren't for the Jews.
The Jews?
Yes, sir. Wall Street Jews manipulating the price of ore.
You build your cars in Detroit, don't you?
I do.
I'm an old Michigan man myself, raised in Port Huron.
Know it well, not far from Detroit.
School teacher there told my mother I was an addle-brained child.
Well, you more than proved her wrong.
Wouldn't be too sure about that. Used to sit for hours on duck eggs to get them to hatch.
Like you say, Mr. Edison, there are no rules when you're trying to accomplish something.
I say that.
Ah.
I will say this. Invention is a damn strange thing. Sometimes it's nothing more than a fever dream.
Edison watches as an easel with a large picture of Tesla's Wardenclyffe Tower is brought on stage. The tower is a wooden skeleton that looks like a gigantic mushroom or an alien spaceship just landed on Earth.
Fever dream.
Scene, J.P. Morgan's office.
You're certain about this?
Broadcasting electricity like a wireless signal? Malarkey. Maybe a few feet or so, but certainly nothing practical.
He claims to have transmitted at 30 miles in Colorado.
Ain't that where he claims to have telegraphed Mars?
Still, his polyphase system.
Listen, JP, I'm no business genius like you. I mean, far from it. But let's say he can broadcast electricity. He can't, but just for the hell of it, let's say he can. Well, now what happens to the millions you've spent wiring Manhattan and the rest of the country? You just gonna throw all that down the shitter? And how do you meter something coming through the air that anybody can get? Don't even think you know of a way of charging for sunlight. But it's your capital, JP, and if it amuses you to throw it at something that looks like Paul Bunyan's salt shaker, be my guest. But as a friend, I just wanted to give you my opinion of the damn thing.
So you are saying I should wash my hands of it?
As my dear old mother used to say, it's always good to keep your hands clean.
Scene, Tesla's lab. Tesla is washing his hands, washing and drying again, and again through a stack of linen towels.
Dr. Tesla, excuse me. These bills, Doctor.
Tesla keeps obsessively washing.
I'm sorry, but we have to talk about these bills. It is serious, Doctor. If we don't receive money from Mr. Morgan, then...
Morgan is venal man, but will release money. Now he knows true purpose.
True purpose? Yeah, hey, Miss Morgan.
Oh, hello, Mr. Zito.
Miss Morgan.
I have a letter from my father.
Would you read?
You're sure you want me to?
Please read.
Have received your letter in reference to wireless transmission of electricity at Wardenclyffe. This was not included in your original proposal, therefore I do not feel inclined to make any further advances.
What? This is what he writes?
I am afraid so. Father is dismayed that Marconi was able to transmit across the Atlantic at a fifth of the cost of Wardenclyffe.
Marconi! All they hear is Marconi. Yes, well, Marconi, this is good fellow. A good fellow was stealing only 17 of my patents. World Wireless is much more than tapping out letters. It is eyes and ears and voice and power of new world. How can Morgan not see that?
I know, and I've tried to convince Father, but he simply cannot see what you see.
There are flashes of light. We hear the discharge of a high voltage electricity as Morgan smokes a cigar as he reads Tesla's letters.
I am tired of speaking to pusillanimous people who become scared when I ask them to invest $5,000 and get the diarrhea when I call for 10.
You are a man like Bismarck. Great, but uncontrollable. Not Christian at all. You are fanatic. Mussulman. Once you say no, come what may, it is no.
Since a year, Mr. Morgan, there has hardly been a night when my pillow has not been bathed in tears. But you must not think me a weak man for that, for I am perfectly sure to finish my task. My task, Mr. Tesla, is to make you understand that I have no intention of supplying a new world with free power.
Morgan crumples the letter and exits. Zito puts more papers in front of Tesla.
What?
We are being sued by the power company in Colorado Springs, and
Tesla grabs the bills, crumples them.
Dr. Tesla, that won't.
Please take letter to Morgan.
But doctor.
Take letter.
Yes.
To great and terrible John Pierpont Morgan. You are a big man, but your work is wrought in passing form. My work is immortal. 6,000 million are invested in my discoveries. You say you have fulfilled contract with me. You say this, but you have not. My patent rights.
Edison, Morgan, and Ford enter. Edison is eating a big slice of apple pie. Morgan and Ford carry money bags comically marked with a big green $sign. Tesla sees this weird tableau, but tries to ignore it.
My radio patents are worth 10 times amount of your investment. And
Morgan and Ford shower Edison with cash from the money bags as Edison keeps eating the pie.
And delay of 2 months furnishing the 50,000.
Edison wipes his mouth with some cash.
The delay.
Tesla watches Morgan and Ford putting their arms around Edison and laughing like drunken sailors.
The delay was fatal to me.
Nico?
Steinmetz?
Are you not well, Nico? I kept calling, but you were speaking as if I were not there.
Would some whiskey?
Have you forgotten we are dining tonight?
I'm losing her, Charles.
Her?
Money. It is money I need. Money that is nothing to Morgan.
Ah, you need a Ford.
What? Motor car?
Ein Engel. Henry Ford is backing Edison in every mad notion he has. Talking dolls, cement furniture, even rubber from weeds.
Edison and Ford. Both should burn in hell.
Nico.
In future, when eugenics is law, men like Edison, Ford, Morgan, all these men will be weeded out. Weeded out!
Tesla winces, drops the whiskey glass, and grabs his head.
Nico, you are ill.
Will you help, Charles?
Of course, my friend. Do you need to go to hospital?
Tesla walks to a corner where something large is covered by a tarp. Tesla pulls off the tarp, revealing a wooden chair with wires attached. It looks like Edison's electric chair.
Mein Gott, Nico, was ist das?
To soothe nerve.
You are treating yourself with electricity?
When I am in chair, switch generator on.
Tesla sits in the chair, straps his head into the headrest.
Was macht der Gerad?
Generator.
You are sure?
Charles, please! Generator.
God help me.
Steinmetz closes a bar switch, and we hear a generator starting electricity crackling. A blue glow appears around Tesla. His eyes roll up into his head, his eyelids close, his breathing slows. The blue electricity does its work. He looks at peace. Blackout. We hear bird song, wind through trees, a bubbling mountain brook. Scene: Blue Ridge Mountains. Edison, his second wife Mina, and Ford enter. They take in a magnificent view as Edison lights a cigar.
Oh, I do wish you wouldn't smoke so, dearie.
Open the lungs, Mother. Helps take in this mountain air.
Oh, dearie.
I'm all right. I'm all right. Don't fret.
I'm not fretting. I just worry about all this smoking.
Been smoking since I was a pup.
Why, it's not healthy.
Hell, what is?
These Blue Ridges really are something, ain't they, Mr. Edison? Seem to go rolling on forever.
And this is a magnificent spot you've brought us to, Henry.
Definitely truth in advertising. Mountains as blue and clear as my Mina's eyes.
Stop. You'll make me blush.
I sincerely hope so. I think I got a question for you, Ford.
Yes, Mr. Edison.
How much am I into you?
Into me?
Yeah, money. How much have you lent me?
Oh, well, how much you need?
Must be millions by now, must be. And the things you've done for my boys. Free cars, buying up Will's spark plugs, Tom Jr.'s, what's he calling the dingus?
The ecometer.
The ecometer. Supposed to save on gasoline, does it?
Well, we're still testing.
Finding it as useless as Tom?
Oh, no, Mr. Edison. Tom Jr. is a fine boy.
You know, he tried stealing my reputation. You know that? My reputation.
Dearie.
You put Thomas A. Edison on all sorts of rubbish like, what's that thing they called again? The magno-electric vitalizer. Yeah, that's it. You ever hear of that peach? Supposed to cure everything from lost manhood to lady troubles. Good Christ almighty.
People know you had nothing to do with it. Don't get so overwrought.
Well, had to get an injunction against my own son to stop selling the goddamn thing.
Thomas, please.
Then again, I was far from a perfect father. I usually holed up with the boys in the laboratory for 16 hours a day, hardly ever at home. And the home he had with his sister and brother was the home of a madwoman.
Thomas, it wasn't Mary's fault that she was so ill.
Maybe she was just too young. Only 16 when we married.
I'm sure that had nothing to do with it.
We were blessed finding you so soon after. Must have been hard for a young thing like you marrying an old coot like me and roped into mothering 3 rowdy pups.
Oh, stop it. You know it was no chore at all.
Always said my life was just one long streak of luck.
Mine as well.
Edison and Mina kiss.
Mr. Edison, I know how you enjoy a morning paper.
What's that?
Mina taps Morse code in Edison's palm.
A newspaper?
A newspaper, yes.
That is one bad thing about roughing it. Do miss the funny papers.
Remember how you started your own paper as a boy?
The Grand Trunk Herald. What a romp that was. A 12-year-old candy butcher publishing a newspaper on a moving train until I burned it all up and got tossed out on my ass.
Well, sir, as always, you are my inspiration.
What's this?
My newspaper, Mr. Edison, the Dearborn Independent.
What the hell is this headline?
The International Jew, the world's problem.
The International Jew?
Mr. Edison, just about all the big problems in our country, in the world, if we're being honest, are doings of the Jews. They control oil, steel, newspapers, even the business you invented, Mr. Edison, the moving pictures. The more they got, the more they want. They want the world, and they got plans to take it.
They want the world, you say?
Yes, sir, they do. Laid it all out in something called the Protocols of the Elders of Zion.
The what?
The point is, I'm going to make sure every American man knows all about their treachery, because when he buys a Ford car, he's got to subscribe to my paper.
That's so. What if the man buying one of your flivvers happens to be Jewish?
Ah, all the better, Mr. Edison, all the better. Reading The Independent is just the thing that will take away the Jew and Americanize him.
Frankly, I'd like to see the end of all religions. Every one of them is nothing but a load of bunk.
Now, dearie.
Look, if you want a real religion, join Tom Paine's. His church wasn't statues and steeples, it was nature. It was this sky above us, these mountains around us. Not mumbo jumbo like making the blind see and the dead walk. Forget this flummery about the Jews, Ford. Join the Free Thinkers Society instead. It'll humanize that motor you call a mind.
I'll look into it, Mr. Edison.
Say, we got any more pie? My mother used to reward us with her hot apple pie. Well, at my damn age, I guess I can have my reward and eat it too, huh?
Of course you can, dearie. Let's go ask Chef.
Lead the way, Mother. Come on, Ford. Time and hot pie wait for no man.
Yes, Mr. Edison.
Scene, Tesla's Wardenclyffe plant. Tesla talks to his workers. Mark Twain stands in the back listening.
In time, I'm sure money will be found, and I expect no man at Wardenclyffe to work without pay. But I am certain soon our work here continues. Mr. Cito will give paychecks. Thank you. Thank you all. Sorry you had to hear, Sam.
Oh, I wouldn't take this pecuniary hindrance too hard, Nico. I went bust a few times myself. First on an automatic typesetting machine that, well, the only odd thing it automatically set was me on the road to ruin. And then the fortune I lost on a stupendous idea of creating a publishing company. Thought being both author and a publisher would conspire to make me a golden payday. It was golden, all right, for all the bankers and loan sharks I had to pay back with interest. Hell, the only goddamn investment that ever made me a red cent was a self-pasting scrapbook.
But your stories?
Ah, yes, my stories. What in Hades is that thing for?
What?
That disc with the hole in it? It looks bigger than a New York City trolley car.
That is for Tower Dome.
For the tower? To do what?
For projecting beam of radiation.
A beam of radiation? Nico, my friend, I fear you have been touched by the sweetest curse, that terrible and rare affliction of being years ahead of your time.
Yes, time. Never enough.
Oh, there's time enough. And time does have the habit of rewarding the worthy in its own sweet time.
Scene, Bryant Park. We hear the cooing and movement of a flock of grounded pigeons. Tesla takes out a bag of birdseed and begins lovingly feeding them.
Dr. Tesla!
Mr. Cito, you're disturbing birds.
But the time, sir, the time. We're very late.
Yes.
People are waiting.
A pigeon lands on Tesla's finger.
You came. I have your favorite, maple peas. Have you ever seen one as white? But see, there are wisps of gray on her wingtips. Unique, I think.
Yeah, I know how you feel about Mr. Edison, but it is a prestigious award, and it could help you reclaim Wardenclyffe.
Yes. Do not forget me.
Tesla gently launches her into the air, watching her soar away.
Do not forget.
Scene, an auditorium. Tesla and Zito take the stage. We hear raucous applause.
It is my privilege to introduce Dr. Nikola Tesla as the recipient of the Edison Medal for 1917. Much like last year's medalist, Alexander Graham Bell, Dr. Tesla has changed the world in fundamental ways. If we were to eliminate his electrical work, wheels of industry would cease to turn, trains would stop, cities and towns plunged into darkness. Every power line is a tribute to his genius. He is an equal to Edison and Faraday, and I hope he will cherish this tribute. As the poet Alexander Pope might have written, nature and nature's laws lay hidden night. God said, let Tesla be, and all was light. Dr. Nikola Tesla.
We hear deafening applause.
Thank you. Thank you. It's humbling to hear kind words, but must take exception. He said every power line is tribute to my so-called genius, but transmission of electricity by wire was only first step. Wireless energy, wireless communication was always the goal in his unavoidable future of mankind. This is promise of my World Wireless Tower at Wardenclyffe, which now has been taken from me for failure to pay city tax. Mr. Cito has paraphrased great Pope. If I may do same, I say, let Wardenclyffe be, and all will be light.
Blackout. Spotlight up on the picture of Tesla's World Wireless Tower. The picture is ripped in two. We hear explosions. Tesla's World Wireless Tower's massive wooden skeleton crumbling piece by piece. Blackout.
I don't see why this shouldn't work.
Scene, Edison's mansion. Edison is 84 years old and carries two strange-looking helmets made of metal coils.
Even Henry Ford believes in telepathy, and that Doc has a gasoline engine for a soul. Let's get this on you.
Are you sure?
Sit.
Oh, dearie, please be careful.
Don't worry, Mother. There's no electricity. It's not plugged into anything.
Yes, well, sometimes you don't know when to stop these experiments of yours.
That is true. It is. Did more than 10,000 of them getting that 1879 lamp to burn.
What is this, Thomas?
Our personalities must be made from some kind of matter. And I think this is what leaves the body when we die. Takes off like a swarm of bees. Maybe trying to find a new mind to nest in.
Oh, Thomas, you know that when we pass, it's our soul that leaves the body and goes to paradise, or the other.
Now, now think, Mother.
Of what?
Of anything. If thought is matter, these coils should resonate, and we'll both hear or maybe see it. Anything?
I don't think so.
Try again.
No, sorry, dearie.
Well, maybe after a few thousand more tries, we'll get this lamp to light. The universe.
What did you say, dearie?
This universe is ruled by infinite intelligence. It must be. It must be. Everything around us, everything that exists, that proves there must be intelligence behind it.
Thomas, are you all right?
It's...
Dearie?
It's very beautiful. Over there.
His eyes shut. His head falls. He slumps in the chair.
Thomas! Thomas! Oh, Thomas, dear God, Thomas!
Blackout. Spotlight up on. A radio announcer behind a massive 1930s carbon microphone.
Though he disdained the hero worship of a grateful world, less exalted beings must ever sense him as a peculiar force of nature in human form, a phenomenon quite beyond the comprehension of ordinary mortals. Picture an electric lightless, an electric powerless, a telephoneless, a motion pictureless, a photographless world, and a faint realization of the greatness of the Wizard of Menlo Park dawns upon us. Earlier this year, at his 23-room mansion in West Orange, New Jersey, the press gathered on the occasion of his 84th birthday. Mr. Edison, what do you think about the Einstein theory?
Well, I don't think anything of Einstein's theory because I can't understand it.
Well, what do you think of the sound pictures of today?
Well, you ask what I think of the talking pictures?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I never heard one.
How does it feel to be 84 years old?
Well, it feels very fine to be 84 years of age if you don't have anything the matter with you.
The world mourns the loss of this super being who defies classification. What more can be said? What greater tribute can be paid to Thomas Alva Edison than this? He is humanity's friend.
Blackout. Scene, Morgan Jr.'s outer office. Tesla has also aged. He's 85 years old, walks slowly with a cane, and wears a very plain 1930s suit that is too big for him. He carries a large leather portfolio.
Nikola? It's Anne Morgan.
Yes, of course. Miss Morgan.
Were you here to see my brother?
Yes, out of respect for your father.
Oh, how so?
I'm thinking of this terrible new war with Japan. This terrible new war in Sam.
Sam?
A writer, Huckleberry Finn.
Oh, yes, of course, Mark Twain.
He encouraged me to create terror weapon, make war too horrible to wage. What was wrong? Sam was wrong. Cannot end war with more terrible weapon. War ends when every nation has impossible defense. Teleforce. Look.
Tesla opens a portfolio showing Anne an illustration of his concept.
Series of World Wireless Tower project particle beam into wall of force to protect whole nations. Is based on 4 new invention, and I have tested 2. But I tell your brother that to finish this I need laboratory. Many years without, and all must be tested.
What did he say?
People, they say I am dreamer, but I dream no longer. I am practical man now, of great experience, learned in many long and bitter trial. I am late.
Late?
For park.
Well, I could use some fresh air.
Anne takes his arm, and this time Tesla doesn't resist. He can use the help. Scene, Bryant Park. And we hear the cooing and movement of pigeons.
These birds, they all seem to know you.
Someone I loved died last night.
What? Who?
White as snow, with gray on wingtip.
Oh, I see. Yes, I know how you love them.
I love her as man love woman. Was sick when I found her, here in park. I knew as she lived there is purpose to my life, could complete work, no matter how revolutionary. But now she is gone, and my work finished.
Oh, I doubt that. Inventing is like breathing to you.
Do you see? Are 27 fewer today. I have yet to publish, but their number is always divisible by 3. I tell you, if you know magnificence of 3, of 6, of 9, then you know secret of universe. Ah, you see, she limps.
I don't.
She has come up lame.
And it's starting to snow. Maybe you should get her and someplace warm?
Tesla painfully shuffles into the flock and picks up the pigeon. Scene, Hotel New Yorker, room 3327. We hear loud cooing and movement of pigeons in cages.
My, all the cages. Amazing you can keep so many birds in a hotel room.
Are over 100.
100? And all sound happy to see their papa. What's this? It looks like a little shower.
Yes, for a bird.
Oh, sweet.
Please, careful of box behind you.
Oh, this?
Holds device to destroy airplane.
Well, thank you for telling me. It's snowing harder. Blizzard.
When I was boy, very young, had cat. Macaque, finest cat in all world. Well, when I pet him on winter evening, when snow fall thick like this, miracle I see. Macaque fur become sheet of light. I ask father, what is this light? He tells me, is electricity, same as lightning. So as boy, I wonder, is nature giant cat? And if so, who strokes its back? Not single day has passed when I have not wondered, what is electricity? And now, 80 years on, I have no answer.
Perhaps instead of pigeons, you need another cat.
Yes, perhaps.
Do you remember how we stood like this so many years ago, when we first met? We looked out a window in your laboratory, and you spoke of a world undreamed. Do you remember? I kissed you. You never married. Neither did I.
Oh, sorry, Doctor. I didn't know you had company.
Miss Morgan, my assistant, Cito.
Of course, we've met many times.
Oh, yes?
I must be off. You be well, Nicholas.
She has come up lame.
Tesla attends to his birds. Anne takes Zito by the arm and walks him to the door.
Mr. Zito, he looks terrible.
I know, but I cannot get him to see a doctor.
Do not hesitate to call if he needs anything. Please keep me informed.
I will.
Be sure to.
Cito, I need you to deliver something.
Of course.
It is most urgent.
But, Doctor, I can't deliver this.
Oh, yes, addressed to Samuel Clemens, but perhaps you know him as Mark Twain.
No, I know who he is, Doctor, but I can't deliver this.
What? What do you mean cannot?
Well, Mr. Clemens has been dead for over 30 years.
What? Dead? Nonsense. Was here last night. We discussed my system of thought projection. You know of it, yes? My system of television?
Yes.
He is having financial difficulty. Take that to him at once.
But Doctor.
At once!
All right, Doctor. I'll take it to him. Just please calm yourself.
I am calm.
Can I get you anything?
No.
You have enough food?
Yes.
You sure you're all right?
Go!
Then I shall see you tomorrow evening. Okay, my wife is looking forward to having you for dinner.
Zito, you are clucking like old babushka. Go!
Tomorrow then, Doctor.
Go!
Yes.
The pigeons keep cooing, and Tesla pulls a small bag from his coat.
Yes. You see? I have favorite. Maple peas.
He starts feeding them, but suddenly winces, drops the bag and clutches his chest, stumbles to a chair where he sits. We hear a great noise, the cooing and fluttering of thousands and thousands of birds. We hear the thousands become one bird circling above Tesla. Tesla holds out a finger and the bird lands on it. Tears stream from his eyes. The love of his life has returned.
White as new snow, like angel. You did not forget me.
We hear electricity crackling around the bird. Tesla kisses the bird and releases her into the sky. We hear the bird flying away. Tesla reaches up as a brilliant blue-white light shines on him.
Nikola Tesla wrote, "Let the future tell the truth. The present is theirs. The future, for which I have really worked, is mine."
Thomas Edison said, "I never did a day's work in my life. It was all fun. If we did all the things we are capable of, we would literally..."
Yes, literally.
"Astound ourselves."
Astound ourselves.
The end.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Fantastic. Very, very helpful to hear the story read by such a great cast and group of actors. So I'd like to quickly introduce everybody. Nikola Tesla was played by Eric Keitel, and Thomas Edison by David Stafford. I won't go into all the names of who played what, but Alison Blanchard, Nathalie Rudolph, John Combs, David Datz, Martin Thompson, Dave Buzzotta, Dan Leslie, Kevin Dulude, and Melanie MacQueen. So thank you guys, really, really great, and very helpful in us workshopping this and just hearing it out loud by a group of great actors. So I'd also like to thank all of the people that were tuning in today and who tune in on YouTube in the future. And as I mentioned before, John and I would appreciate any comments and feedback that you have. And we look forward, all of us look forward to getting back into real theaters and doing live theater with all of you coming to see us at Theater 40 and all the other theaters in Los Angeles or wherever you live at. So anyway, John, do you have anything to say before we go?
No, just a big thank you. I really enjoyed it.
You enjoyed your writing?
I did.
I did too. It's just so great to hear it.
It's so helpful to hear this, and what a fantastic group of actors, and you brought it to life, and that's the only thing anybody could ask for that tries to write something,
Yeah. So thank you again. And I know it's a little late, and I appreciate you putting in your time. And I look forward to working with all of you guys in the future, possibly on this or on something else. But thank you again. I really appreciate you guys and your talent. So
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you.
stay
Bye-bye.
well and be safe.
Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
And turn off the lights as you leave. Goodbye.